it is. Thank you. This guy's a little noisy. It is December 13, 2020, the end of a crazy year. But over a year ago, on August 10th, 2019, I fell off of this magnificent mountain on also an incredibly beautiful day. And I have no memory of the fall. I do remember hiking up. I didn't take this the hard way up. Today we did. And I was with my husband, and somehow I fell. And the luckiest part of that fall is the fact that Henry heard me fall, and Henry had the courage and the strength and the wits about him to find me in pretty record time, because I really don't think I would have lived through it if I wasn't found. But I was found, and then an incredible team was able to rescue me. It took several hours. Henry did not leave my side and kept me awake, and along with some man Simon, who we don't know who he is, but they made sure I lived through this experience, which is unbelievable because I have zero memory of it. So here it was, August of 2019, before first responder was a catchphrase of the year. I had my very own first responder. Wouldn't even know to call him that. He wasn't trained as one, but he could train everybody else. So the other thing I wanted to say about being incredibly grateful and so wonderful to be able to honor him with this Carnegie Foundation Heroes Foundation Award, which I saw somebody alerted to me in the paper as the perfect award to be able to nominate Henry for. And obviously I knew he would win, and he did. And it wasn't easy, because I know that there's a lot of wonderful heroes out there. But the other thing I wanted to say about today is today it's in the middle of the holiday of Hanukkah. And Hanukkah is about miracles. And so the miracle of Hanukkah, there are many miracles in Hanukkah, but the most common one that many people know about is that we light a menorah for 8 days, because when the Maccabees were fighting the Greeks, I believe, they were trying to save this temple, and they needed to rededicate the temple with, and they had just a small amount of a cruse of oil was supposed to be only last one night. But the miracle is it lasted 8 nights. And tonight is the 4th night of Hanukkah. So there are 2 things that we Jews do to celebrate Hanukkah. One is, so the miracle is that the cruse of oil lasted 8 days. It was only supposed to last one night. So one of the things that we give out on Hanukkah is we give out what's called gelt, which is another word for money. And I have for everybody, it's chocolate. So I brought for everybody, you could take more than one and pass it around. Please do. So that's part of the miracle. The other miracle is we have a game that we call dreidel. And dreidel, this is a dreidel, it's a top, it's really kind of like a betting game. And there are 4 letters on the dreidel. It's a nun, a gimel, a hey, and a shin. And it stands for Nes Gadol Haya Sham, which is a great miracle happened there. In Israel, the letters are nun, gimel, hey, pei. It means a great miracle. Nes Gadol Haya Po, which means a great miracle happened here. So I want everybody to have, to celebrate our miracle, please everybody take a dreidel. And I would give you a huge hug if it was safer. But we will meet again, and then I will. And again, I love everybody here. So grateful for my family and friends, and Heather, who is the reporter who I've spoken to and written with for so long, and everybody here. So thank you.
Thank you. So everyone, this is, again, my name is Eric Zarin. I've had the pleasure to speak to most of you on our way up this beautiful mountain. This is a thrill for Joe Mandak and for me as representatives of the Carnegie Hero Fund Commission, headquartered in Pittsburgh. We often as we can, we get out and we actually meet the people that we are recognizing through this award, and we get to meet them and find out a little bit more about them, find out in almost all cases what wonderful people they are, and it's a pleasure to meet you. It's an honor for us, okay? But what makes this even nicer is this is so unique for us to come to not only the place where a rescue actually occurred with both parties, very important to one another in that moment in time, but then for it to be such a beautiful day and have such beautiful symbolic meaning, I think, which I'll get to in a minute. So I'm going to say just a few words. Some of you, I think, have had an opportunity to learn a little bit more about the Hero Fund Commission. Happy to talk to you more about it today, which is great. We can stay together a little bit longer. But Andrew Carnegie established the fund in 1904, and it was after a horrific mine disaster in Pittsburgh when 179 men were killed in the mine, and 2 went in attempting a rescue and also died. And Carnegie had long thought about an award, and more important than just an award, also support for heroes, because he had the means to do it. And he wanted to support those who made that decision in a split second that could end or affect their lives or their families' lives for a long time, forever. So he recognized the importance of that, and when the mine disaster happened at Harwick, he moved and created the Hero Fund Commission to do really 2 essential and very important things: to recognize civilian heroism in the U.S. and Canada, and also to support heroes where they need it, so that they not suffer and that their dependents not suffer as a result of that selfless decision. But there's so many elements to the Hero Fund and what it represents and what the Carnegie Medal represents. You know, it represents so many of the best elements of human nature, of selflessness, of our capacity to love people, even strangers, in such an extreme way that we'd trade our lives for theirs. And it happens again and again. It's rare and it's also common. It's kind of these idiosyncrasies and even things that don't seem to really coexist well with each other. It's rare, it's common, it's diversity of our awardees, and it's the common aspects that they share. So it's the things that we get to see, excuse me, and delve into all the time. But one of the most important things I think about this award, about Carnegie Heroes, that now is represented here today through Henry. I mean, it's the hope that they give us. It's the hope, despite all the negativity in our world, that there are still people among us that will make that decision and take that ultimate risk. And in many cases, about 20% of the awards that we make are posthumous to people who did actually lose their lives in the rescue attempt. So I think it's hope that, you know, all these situations don't end well. A lot of them are heartbreaking, but it's the hope that is the common thread that runs between them, that we take from it, that we can hopefully apply to our own lives. So it was very important for Carnegie, not only for us to recognize and to support heroes, but to also tell their stories so that other people hear about it. Because if we can act selflessly on an individual basis with one another, then despite ourselves, there might be peace for hope, you know, hope for more peaceful neighborhoods, societies, more peaceful world. And it all comes down to the individual representation that we honor here today. And I think I'd be remiss if I just didn't capture just for a moment, you know, the symbolism of this moment and the heights that we start from and the depths that we sometimes fall to. And in that moment,
Literally.
Right, you place your sole trust in an individual to risk his own life to save yours. And so we're here today to recognize and to honor that act, which really essentially was human trust fulfilled. So thank you all for being here. What I'd like to do next is what we do before the presentation of each and every Carnegie Medal, and that is just to read the official summary of Henry's act to all of you. Henry F.F. Grant helped rescue Paula Kaplan Reese from falling, Great Barrington, Massachusetts, August 10th, 2019. Kaplan Reese, 59, was hiking with her husband when she fell from the rocky 1,642-foot summit of Squaw Peak 30 feet straight down before she tumbled down a steep slope to a narrow ledge where she lay, severely injured about 30 feet above a boulder field. Grant, 18, college student, had been hiking with his mother and became aware of Kaplan Reese's fall. He left the main trail to search for her, shortly arriving at the base of a rock wall below her. Despite having no climbing gear and using a crevice in the rock, Grant climbed up about 18 feet at a 75-degree angle and saw Kaplan Reese on the ledge, still some distance above him. He called out to her, and after determining she was alive, used his cell phone to report to rescuers that he'd found her. Rescue crews arrived shortly on the peak while Grant climbed a 90-degree rock wall and a short 45-degree slope upward to a point immediately below Kaplan Reese. Partially climbing the 6-foot rock wall below her and anchoring his feet in tree roots, Grant reached up to grasp Kaplan Reese's hand to comfort and stabilize her. Several minutes later, another hiker arrived and climbed up by the same route, bringing a windbreaker and bottle of water to Kaplan Reese. Grant let the hiker take his place below Kaplan Reese, then climbed up behind her on another 45-degree slope, then took hold of her backpack to steady her as he braced his feet against a tree. 2 rescue crew members rappelled down to the ledge and later used a rope to help a medic climb up to them. After the medic stabilized Kaplan Reese, the rescuers, using ropes, hauled her up to the summit. As she was moved off the mountain to an ambulance, the rescuers returned to bring the other hiker and Grant to the summit. Kaplan Reese suffered a concussion and multiple broken bones. She was hospitalized for treatment of her injuries and ultimately recovered after physical rehabilitation.
Yes, I did.
So Paul, if you'd help me
Absolutely.
kind of do the honors here.
Okay.
It's our honor and privilege today to present the Carnegie Medal for Extreme Civilian Heroism to Henry F. Grant.
Awesome.
Congratulations.
Yay!
You have to show everybody.
Oh, whoops.
Wow.
Yeah.
How
I would just like to say, like, this is kind of crazy for me, especially because, you know, to me, I just hiked up and I just wanted to go find her. Like, it wasn't anything in my mind heroic about it, but it's been crazy. Like, between comments that I've seen after newspaper articles about people being like, this is crazy how people are like this, and to me, you know, I guess it's second nature, but like, it's been truly a wild thing to especially have everybody here today and see how much it impacted everybody. Like, it's pretty cool. It's an awesome life moment for me. So I guess thank you all for coming, and thank you, Paula, for I don't know, just being an awesome person. So yeah. Anyway, that's it.
Awesome.
Congrats. Let me show you how.